I love that you guys are thinking this through, because you have to evaluate. Remember, we're always trying to optimize who we are, how God made us, and then be able to live in the strengths of it.
Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jacquie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world. Okay, here we go. This is part 2. We're starting to touch on the topic of mindset of a champion. And we're talking with specifics here, kind of doing some live coaching of my kiddos while we're on this podcast. But, you know, you finished last one, Abbie, with think, dream, believe, and achieve. Now, I want you to be super honest, you guys, right now. Okay, what are you most afraid of? What are the negative thoughts that pop in when we talk about your goals? So this year, the first goal is making varsity in the golf team.
Sounds almost impossible, I guess, sometimes. Coming into the golf season right now, I want to break 100 and I'm so close. But sometimes, I don't know, it's just negative thoughts keep getting in my mind. But also, it's because of Satan, and also probably not rejecting them all the time. And then you just dwell on them, and then it just kind of keeps circling in your mind over and over.
One of your natural tendencies, you're a very, you're like a sanguine, melancholy personality.
Yes.
So you're fun-loving and enjoy having fun. And, you know, also there's high highs and low lows that can come. You can be really happy. You can also get really down sometimes. That's pretty natural. I have sanguine in me too, right? But in the melancholy side is that you can be very detail oriented, like you're doing all this gardening stuff right now, and you have such a plan, and you're doing such an amazing job, and your melancholy strengths are really helping you with this, right? Yeah. But the overextension of that strength can also become a weakness, and that is what? Overthinking, right? Or quote unquote perfectionism, right? And usually when you tend to get that way, then if you allow yourself to stay there, you can get it's like you almost have a hard time patting yourself on the back for the 9 things you did right versus really being hung up on the one thing that didn't go right. Correct? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so for you just need to know you don't have a negative mind. You just have a great strength in your melancholy personality, but you have to be careful not to overextend it, right? This is everything. This is why your brain will naturally go into that. Okay, well, you know, we just played a round of golf yesterday. Actually, it was our Francis family summer championship, and who won?
I won.
Yeah, you won, and you really played pretty well. But I will bet you probably have thought about the shots you didn't hit well a decent amount, haven't you?
Yeah.
See what I mean? And so I know with you, because I know your personality, I have to work really hard to make sure I keep reminding you of the things you've done well. Because otherwise you'll sit there and be like, you know, like even yesterday, I don't know if you even realize this, but it was we first got in the car and we're trying to celebrate a little bit, but you kept going to, yeah, but I didn't break 100, you know, or like, yeah, but I gave you 9 strokes, and you know there was a reward if first place could beat me too, and you're kind of like, oh, I was just so close, you know, it was so close. Instead of like, I just won. I just beat everybody today. I just won the summer championship. Instead of like focusing on that, right? See, Drews has like 0 melancholy in him. Is that right, Drews? Yep. He has none. He does no overthinking. So if you would have won yesterday, you'd have been like, come on, let's go. Like he would have never thought about a bad shot he made. He wouldn't have had any kind of at all. He'd have been like, guys, why aren't we celebrating more? Let's go party. This is amazing. Right? Yeah. So you see, I don't ever have to worry about Drews being an overthinker necessarily. But because he's so sanguine, what he can tend to do is not get clear enough goals, not get clear enough vision. Because you're just like, let's just go have fun. I'm going to have fun playing no matter what happens. At the same time, you want to actually get better than you currently are. And that's going to require some like detail type vision and performance in that direction, right? Ellie, what's your personality type?
Choleric sanguine.
Very
Sanguine
choleric. Very choleric. Choleric, and more choleric, I think. And probably sanguine. Probably sanguine secondary. I know somebody has a personality like that. Yeah. So when you play, well, let's just talk about your goals for this year. So with cross country, and you want to get in top tens. First of all, people don't really understand. So there's a big growth spurt age between, I think, like 6th and 8th grade. I'm discovering, because last year Jerussi was in 6th grade. And he's run against 7th and 8th graders. And some of the boys there that were in 8th grade, they're like 1.5 feet taller than him. Yeah. Legs way longer. Jerus looked like he was sprinting the whole races, while they looked like they were just kind of pacing it out. But now this year, Jerus has grown probably 4 or 5 inches in the last, 8 months or so. He's moved up a couple of shoe sizes. He's starting to sprout up. Well, Ellie here, she's just entering 6th grade. Last year she ran because she sweet-talked the coaches into letting her play, even though there's not a 5th grader supposed to be on the team. But she was so sweet and kind and used her people skills and talked to our coach, and she got on the team, right? Which is great. You even got the team photos and everything. You got to run the races. But Ellie was about half the size of every person out there, just so you know. Now, she's been working hard, though. She's grown a little bit, but you're still probably going to be one of the smaller ones this year. However, your times are kicking butt. So as a choleric with your personality, how do you use your personality in order to help you accomplish your goals?
I work for them when I actually have it in my mind.
Okay.
Like last year I didn't have a goal because I knew I was on the team.
Well, the biggest thing was you were they let you practice, but they didn't let you actually cross a finish line in a race because of how they have to score. It'd be unfair to other schools. So it's hard to get into competing when but when you're 50 yards from the finish line, you can't even cross it. They make you get off the track, right?
Yeah.
It kind of wars against the cleric personality.
Yes, it does very much.
And so it was probably a little discouraging throughout the year because you're just like, I just want to actually win. Because I think last year you would have been pretty close to having a top 10 finish a couple times,
Yeah.
So this year, though, you can. Yeah. So now I'm assuming you like to be competitive.
Yeah, probably. Most likely.
You like winning at things?
Yes, I do. Like winning at things. I like actually feeling on the team this year. I have a goal in my mind now that I know I can try to hit it now. Then last year I didn't really have a goal because I knew I really couldn't do it. Yep. But now I'm trying harder this year than I did last year. I think my best last year was 18th, but I'm going to try a lot harder to get probably 10th or under, or maybe even 5 or under, because I want to try really hard to get one of our top 5s, because in cross country, your only top 5s cross the finishing line counts as their score. Mm-hmm. The rest don't. So I want to be one of our top 5s to put points on this board.
Yeah, the first 5 are what counts for score, right, from each school. And so it's important as a team to have good top 5 runner scores, right? Yeah. And so now what is, with your choleric personality, the strength in that is, okay, I want to set my vision towards these top 10 scores. I'm going to be a top 5 runner every meet, should be your goal, right? I'm going to be at least top 5 on our team every meet. And so now how do you use your cholericness to actually help you do that? Is it just the drive part? Is it just okay, let me go figure out what times I need to have, and then you just go for it because of the competitiveness? Is that what you would say?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So then what can be an overextension of the strength as a cleric? Anybody know?
Probably being so set on the goal that you forget that it's not just about your goal. It's about also cheering others on. And if you don't hit your goal, don't be so hard on yourself. Because I know clerics are like productivity, and more productivity, then I can be satisfied.
Right.
So you have to be focused on, yes, you want to hit your goal, but if you don't hit it, always remember there's a next time. Mm-hmm. And for you, there's another 2 years.
Yeah. And we'll get into this here soon. I'm going to talk to you guys about some of the traits of champions, because a lot of becoming a champion, you have to be careful to not grade how much of a champion you are only by wins and losses. Right. it has to be graded way more on effort, right? When you learn how to actually revolve things around giving your best effort every time that you actually either practice or play, you will be blown away at how fast you will actually become a champion. But if it's only about the championship thing, see, now circumstances can happen. You know what I mean? You got a big meet, you're going to win X meet this year. And because it's just like all about that, all these other little meets maybe don't matter to you, or maybe the little progression along the way doesn't matter. And you can actually start, messing yourself up mentally, thinking that you're not good at something when actually you're constantly getting better.
Right.
Winning at most sports usually revolves around whoever's going to consistently give it their best effort between practice and games every single time they show up. And eventually that catches up. Because you'll find you're gonna compete against a lot of natural athletes, right? You guys probably already have to a certain extent.
Oh, yeah.
There's just some people that are just naturally good at things,
Especially in cross country. It was like so frustrating because there'd be someone the same size as me, but they're like so skinny and so strong.
That's right.
And their legs can move so fast.
That's right.
That like no matter how much I try,
Yeah.
they're just. I mean, they'll normally come out on top because they're just born that way.
Yeah. Like Drews, he has he's very lean, muscular, kind of lanky, long, and he's only getting longer. He's just kind of built like a runner.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You take a guy like me, I'm built like a football player. I'm kind of naturally always been kind of a thicker guy. Like, it's like I go to the chiropractor, the other day, and Dr. J is in there, and he's trying to crack a certain part of my back, and he has to like literally lean over, put his fist under my back, twist me, and then jump on me. And he's just like the other day, he's literally almost like jumped up in the air and landed on me, and still nothing happened. He's like, my gosh, that's like jumping on a brick wall. I'm like, well, it doesn't help with chiropractic care, but it worked really well in football. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like Bella when we play basketball. Remember we played basketball one time and you were kind of running my way and you ran into me.
Yeah. Or like when we played football and you knocked me over because I was trying to block you.
That's right.
And you didn't think I was going to try, but I did.
You gave up. And I felt like I barely touched you and you went tumbling across the ground and I'm just like, sorry, I didn't mean to. Hopefully nobody's videotaping that because
Surprised yourself. Dad surprised himself by how much Bella flew.
Yeah.
I hadn't hit anybody in a while and I didn't really mean to do it with my daughter.
I did not think he was going to knock me over.
The thing was, I didn't even really hardly try. Anyways.
He was just running, and then Bella was trying to block him. He just kept running, and like he goes doink, and she goes pooh. Wow.
Yeah. So, anyways, so as a cleric, I will give you a tip, Ellie. One of the things you have to keep in mind, this is for you too, Crissy, because it's you're very cleric as well. I know this. We have to choose a posture of still being coachable. Right? Like even this stuff we're teaching here today and over these next couple episodes, a cleric tendency is to be very strong-willed, and you might think that you currently have a good process or pattern for how you can get better. Just stay coachable. Let somebody else coach you. Let me and some of the other coaches you're going to have that are good, let us actually help you get better. Like it's kind of like when I'm pushing you guys to you guys usually do 3 miles and we do like the first mile and a half and I'm pushing you guys, like you got to try to get faster. You got to try to do it. And then I even put it where there's like a little pain reward afterwards where, if you didn't beat your previous time on the first mile and a half, then you had to run an extra mile and a half. So you're running 4.5 miles now. Right. And so, but you can naturally just be like in your mind as a cleric, like, I don't even think this makes sense. This isn't what the coach originally told me to do. This isn't this, like, you know what I mean? You start getting defensive and because you're like, this is crazy, but I'm just asking you to be coachable because I know as a coach, you guys can do more than you think you can do right now. Right now, I'm also paying attention to your goals. Okay. And what you want to do. You guys want to be great tennis players. You want to be great. And you know what I mean by great? That you get to be like the greatest version of you. Okay, I think the rest will work itself out. But if you don't push yourself beyond what you can currently do, then you're only going to keep being the level you're at. So that's why you have to like really work hard at this kind of stuff. So, okay, what about you, Bella? What's your personality type?
My personality type is phlegmatic sanguine.
Okay, so how does that help you in your goal of getting on varsity golf this year?
I mean, I feel like being I'm not exactly sure how my personality helps me with that. I know being brought up in a competitive family that my competitiveness definitely helps me try to strive for the best I can do in all my sports. But I'm not exactly sure how my phlegmatic sanguine.
Well, I think your phlegmatic side of you can really be a great benefit to you if you can just learn to just every shot take a deep breath.
Yeah.
You connect with the ball one ball at a time, and kind of let yourself tune out from necessarily what the score is, or there's 2 holes left and I gotta get this kind of a score on each hole. Instead, like, let me just be my peaceful, even-keeled nature.
Yeah.
And just be able to, it's kind of like when we watch Scotty Scheffler on TV. Like, to me, you don't hardly ever see an expression out of him, right? He doesn't get high when he's really playing well. He doesn't get low when he's not playing well. He just has trained himself even keel, one shot at a time. Okay, I'm going to try to make the best shot I can every shot that I hit. And that's it. I miss a big shot. He doesn't get all over the place. He doesn't start throwing his clubs in the pond, anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He doesn't do that. Ellie's smacking Drews. Yeah, you might be the most likely one. Maybe next to me to throw your clubs in the pond after a bad round. But anyway, so that's one of the things you can develop now. But the other side is what can be a weakness of a phlegmatic?
Probably like almost not caring.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost like where you can allow yourself to get to the point where it's like, it's all right. I didn't play good today.
Yeah.
No big deal. It's like, well, I get it. At the same time, you have to be like, you have to care enough to say,
Right.
how do I actually make adjustments so I get better next time? And you have to constantly be making adjustments in order to get better each and every time. So, Crissy, what about you?
I am like Ellie, cleric, more cleric, then a little bit of sanguine.
That's true.
I'm driven by productivity.
Okay, so how will that help you in golf this year?
I believe it'll help me with being that person who, if I lose, I'm going to figure out a way to win. If I win, I'm going to figure out a way to win by a bigger margin. So I'm going to figure out how to continually get better and keep doing my best, whether I had a great round or not. I feel like it could also work against me that I want to win and I want to accomplish my goal so bad that I start getting out of whack. Like, my mind is like, I just made a bad shot, and then I keep making bad shots, and then my mental can just get all over the place, which that's the main thing I need to work on is just, okay, I made a bad shot. How do I make the next one better? How do I expect a good shot?
Correct. And you're learning because the last time we played a match against the family, you and Bella tied for second place, and you had not gotten a second yet. Right.
Yeah.
And so you really wanted it, but now the pressure went through the roof. And we had to
Right.
do a putt off.
And the week before, she had beat me in a putt off
Yeah.
for
And
first
so-
place.
Oh, that's what it was. Right. And I
Well,
remember
the week before, she beat me in a putt off, and then the championship, we were at a putt off again.
Yeah, that's it. So the first, I'm trying to discuss the first one. So the first one, I watched you like want to win so bad. I was watching you hit. You almost weren't breathing, and I could see that if you hit the first putt and it might push you into a 3-putt because I'm making you guys putt these long distances, right? I could see you just like almost instantly going into, I can't believe I'm going to lose this. I can't believe it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so this time, though, I was really proud of you because you had the same scenario where you guys were actually up doing a playoff again.
Yeah.
And you both weren't really doing that great, but you were actually on your first setup shot, but you did really good on your other shots. And then I was watching you, and then Bella had to go before you. And so she's going to 3-putt on this, and you had a decent-sized putt. But you have to nail it. And you
Right.
did it. And you just you were different this time. I could tell you learned from last time how to not get too hung up on what can't happen instead of actually focusing on just a shot at a time.
Right, because my main thing I gotta work on in putting is taking that extra second to think, like, okay, I know that maybe in the past I haven't made this putt before. That doesn't matter. I've gotten better since last week even, and all I gotta do is blank. The greens are going fast, the greens are going slow, adjust for that. So I learned to take that extra second and control my mind so I could actually make a good putt.
Good stuff. This is great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I love that you guys are thinking this through because you have to evaluate. Remember, we're always trying to optimize who we are, how God made us, and then be able to live in the strengths of it. Right? So that's what we're getting better at all the time. Hey everyone, thanks for listening and thanks for your love and support. We hope that today's episode added tremendous value to you and your family. It would mean so much to us if you would partner with us on our mission of helping parents around the globe raise champion children in this crazy world.
To do so, simply take a moment to like and share this podcast with everyone in your network. See you next time.